So these are the 10 spelling strategies that we use at school. We use these strategies alongside the teaching of spelling to help children learn tricky words. We mainly focus on the words that the children need to know by the end of each year group. So the first one, look, cover, write, check. This is fairly self-explanatory. So I've got the word beautiful here. They'd look at the word beautiful. They'd say the word beautiful. They'd cover the word by folding it underneath. Then they'd have a go at writing the word again by remembering. And then they'd check to see if they got the word right by having a look. Now, spelling is a tricky thing if you're not too confident or not too good at it, because it only takes one letter to be wrong for the whole word to be wrong. So the best thing to do is to tick off each letter that is right, rather than tick off the whole word. And say the child got this A wrong, you'd circle that bit and get them to practice it again. So that's look, cover, write, check. Number 2, this is quite similar to strategy 1. This is called trace, copy and replicate. So the word needs to be written out correctly, first of all, so the child either needs to copy it or you write it out for them. And it can be pencil or a different colour. And they're going to trace over the word that's written. This is helping muscle memory. So it's helping muscles remember the shape of the word. So we've got the word accident. Then they're going to copy the word next door by looking at what they've written. And then again they hide it and see if they can remember how it's spelt. And again, when you're checking, it's best to tick off each individual letter rather than the whole word. So that's number 2. Number 3 is the segmentation strategy. That's thinking of the word and kind of sharing it up into the different sounds that the children can hear. So here I've got the word breathe, but I've done a B and then I've done a line to show that I'm segmenting it. An R, an E sound, but the child needs to remember which 2 letters are making the E sound. And then you've got the THE at the end, breathe. They'll start to see a pattern in the letters. They might remember the word the, that will help them remember the end of the word. And then they'd have a go at writing out the whole word. So that's the segmentation strategy. Number 4, we've got quick write. So for this one, you'd need a timer on a phone or on an iPad or on a laptop. And you'd give them a focus, either how many of your year 3 words can you write in a minute, or how many contractions can you write in a minute, how many words can you write with the E sound in them, and you give them a minute to write as many as they can. So if it was something like contractions, you'd say 3, 2, 1, go, put a timer on, and they'd write as many as they could in that time. So you get the idea, and then you'd mark it with your child so they can see how many they've got left. This is really good for making little competitions. You could challenge your child and battle against them and see how many words you could write. You don't want them just copying the words out. You want to kind of give them something to do, a task to do with quick write. Okay. Now, for number 5, we've got drawing around the word to show the shape. So this is really good for visual learners. I've got this word totally that's got lots of tall letters and some letters with ascenders, these are called, so letters where they hang down to. You write out the word with enough space in between, and then you draw the blocks around each of the letters so they're beginning to see which are tall and which letters hang down so they can see the shape of the word. So that's drawing around the word. Number 6, we've got drawing an image around the word. Again, really good for visual learners. So I've written the word bicycle, and then I've used the C's to turn it into a little bicycle. And then we've got the word fruit, and where I could, I've drawn different bits of fruit to represent each of the letters. Number 7, words without vowels. So I've got a word here, it's field. So the vowels in the middle are missing. Some children might write field, which wouldn't be right. So you'd circle this bit and you talk about the different vowel sounds that can be written in field. And it's an I and an E for field. So that's really good when the vowel pattern's quite tricky. Number 8, we've got pyramid words. This means that the child is thinking about each letter in turn. So they start with the first letter and then they build it up with the first and the second, add on the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth letter until they've completed the word underneath. So I'm writing pyramid. Then they can even do it backwards and make a diamond shape. So then they do pyramid without the D on the end, and then they take away the I, then they take away the M, and you can see how that would carry on to make a diamond. Then we've got number 9, rainbow write. So this is just using different colours to remember each letter in a word, and then it can also be for highlighting a tricky part of the word. So we've got beautiful. This bit you can hear in the word and you can hear the B, but this has got a tricky string of vowels that make up the word beautiful. So the tricky bit is written in a different colour. So that's rainbow write. And number 10 is silly sentences and silly rhymes. So we've got the word because here, but you can use the mnemonic big elephants can always understand small elephants to remind the child of each letter that spells out because. Then we've got this one, 7 ants in danger. It spells the word said, which is a tricky word because it's spelt quite differently to how it sounds, with a little drawing to help remember too. And then we've got some words here with silent letters that are written out in 2 different colours. So the silent letter's written in a colour, so it's highlighted. And you just say this word, but say the silent letter. So you'd say knight, which just helps the child remember that it's got a silent K at the start of it. So that's our last strategy, silly sentences and rhymes. So I hope that helps to give you some ideas of how to practice tricky words in some interesting ways. We use spelling journals at school that have got all clear pages like this with no lines, so that children can find strategies that work for them and practice in their own way.